Donald Trump's challengers for the Republican nomination are campaigning in Iowa today. Tony's there, too. It's just 3 days and counting ahead of the Iowa caucus. Tony, good morning to you. How's it going?
Good morning, Gayle. Well, it's cold. It's good to hear your voice. What we knew was going to be a big political story turned into a big weather story overnight. The National Weather Service is calling this a very dangerous winter storm and saying the wind chill could drop down to -45. And here's the big thing. That's going to last through the weekend and through Monday's caucus. But the Iowa GOP is saying there is no plan B. This will go on. And so the candidates, they are pressing on, and the voters are as well. I got a great chance to talk to them over the course of the last week, and I've learned at least two things. One, if you panic in severe winter weather, you must be new to Iowa. And two, if you don't participate in the caucus, you are missing one of the great traditions in American politics. Ed O'Keefe is also here. He's been talking to voters. What are you hearing, Ed?
Well, Tony, it is cold. They're telling us to toughen up and deal with it. We should point out this is actually part of a massive cold system across the entire Midwest and going all the way down to the south. It's not unique to Iowa. But here in the Hawkeye State, in the final hours, candidates are adapting their plans given today's snow and the record cold temperatures through the weekend. And at least one contender is now raising fresh concerns about how former President Donald Trump's legal status could affect the entire GOP.
I got more reinforcements with layers of clothes on the way.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis says he's not concerned about the weather Monday for the Iowa caucuses, but he is concerned about frontrunner Donald Trump with his legal troubles and promises to go from courtroom to courtroom.
You must have a thought on whether or not that's a good idea.
I want to focus on what can we do so that hardworking people can get ahead again instead of falling behind. None of that will happen in this election if Trump is the nominee. Iowans have a chance to weigh in on this.
DeSantis and former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley are scheduled to crisscross the state through the weekend, trying to win over the last remaining undecided Republicans.
You set the tone for the country. It's a pretty cool thing.
Haley is drawing larger crowds intrigued by a series of polls suggesting she'd defeat President Biden if she's the nominee.
Do you know what that means? That's bigger than the presidency. That's governorships, that's House, that's Senate, that's all the way down to the school board.
With fresh data showing inflation creeped up last month, the voters are most concerned with rising prices.
I'm in shock. I just told my husband the other day, do you know how much that orange juice cost? I mean, I am seeing it, and I'm not liking it. And it does change my buying a little bit.
And with immigration.
Our country is immigrants, and I think we need to welcome them. We need them, that's who we are, but not in a chaotic way that we're doing now.
One big unknown, since Republicans can only vote during caucuses at 7 p.m. Monday night, how will the record low temperatures affect turnout?
I don't think the weather's going to be that bad. You know, I'm here at -2, maybe a little colder.
-2 may be optimistic, and that guy, nice guy, not a meteorologist. We'll listen to the experts on that. Already, we've learned today Nikki Haley had to cancel 3 events that were scheduled across the state because of the snow and the cold temperatures. She instead plans to talk to her supporters in telephone town halls. But it's a reminder that you can do all this planning and spend hundreds of millions of dollars to find votes, and then it snows and the temperatures plummet, and you've got to adapt, and that's what they're trying to do here in the closing days.
Yeah, you can't control the weather. Nice coverage, Ed. Nice gloves as well.
Thank you. Yes, gloves.
I don't know where these fall, Gayle, on the gloves or mitten scale.